Okay, so here we are in the first of the semi-finals. Alanon on Lumber Twin against Tigrak on Metalwork Colossus. Alanon is mulliganing.
On the play. Let's see. A good hand from the lumber twin deck can make quite a stink for a slower draw from Tigrak.
Yeah, I mean, presumably no defense against a turn 3 Semblance Anvil into full-on combo, but that requires a very particular draw from Tigrak, I guess.
Definitely. No turn 1 Lumberjack, so nothing too explosive. Just a fanatic.
Rubbish lands from Tigrak, no mountain, no cloud post. Presumably either of those might have been played in preference to these lands.
I think so, because
so probably a bit land light.
Yeah.
So is there a 4-power 3-drop here to really... There is! So it doesn't go after the golden egg. Oh, but doesn't have anything to do with the 4 green mana, perhaps.
Interesting.
Thinking of attacking for 1. Or maybe just passed to combat by mistake and is frantically hitting buttons. We've all been there.
Turn off auto yield. Turn off auto yield. Yeah, I think a good 4-mana play would be, Bristlebud or something like that. Just put a huge clock up if you have it, but...
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, it's interesting. Scrap Shooter is a main deck answer to a Semblance Anvil. Okay, so Tigrak draws a Cloud Post on turn 3.
Oh, cracks it.
Okay, so this is a pretty great turn. Although, still no red mana here. But now ready to do the thing. But yeah, I'm not sure. Running the Scrap Shooter out to have a clock does make some amount of sense. But I wonder how often a Semblance Anvil comes down and then the turn gets passed and destroying it the next turn is kind of good enough that you'd want to hold on to the Scrap Shooter. Or maybe the Semblance Anvil just does so much damage the turn it comes down. There's not any point in holding a sorcery speed answer that could be attacking for 4 in the meantime.
Yeah, I
not
think
too sure about that.
A little less enticing with the engineers too. I mean, if you don't see an engineer, then maybe you hold the Scrap Shooter, but...
Right, I mean, they do have to exile a card, but yeah, I guess they can just get it back. And you're also going to draw them a card. Okay, goes for a forest here, so happy with just 1 red mana. And a billion green mana. I mean, the other thing is Scrap Shooter does turn on Fanatic of Ronas, making 4 mana. Which wasn't very relevant last turn, but might be relevant this turn.
Is there any main deck, like frillbacks or anything to hit the graveyard? Probably not, I would imagine.
There's a Kogla the Titan Ape and a Terastodon.
Oh, fair, yeah.
But it's actually quite a lot of like fair creatures. There's 3 Scrap Shooters, 2 Bristlebud Farmers, 8 Satyr Wayfinders, a Talara's Battalion, sometime money card for about 10 minutes in 2007 or whatever it was, 2008. Okay, so Nature's Rhythm for 5. So now we can you gift a card on ETB of a Scrap Shooter? Or can you only gift when you cast?
It says whenever it enters, right?
If the gift was promised. So the question is, can you promise a gift? I think it's probably a cast thing.
It is a cast.
Okay, so all this does is make 4/4s for right now, or guys that tap for 4 mana. But it doesn't make Reclamation Sages.
I mean, guys that tap for 4 mana means that you can...
Nature's Rhythm for the Terastodon and blow up everything, and then copy it with Kiki Jiki. Oh yeah. Okay. So next turn is going to be ridiculous for Alanon if Tigrex doesn't find a thing to do here. But no red mana means that he is just jamming eggs for the moment, and he Yeah. So he's only got 4 more mana here. So really needs to find. Oh, Elsewhere Flask can make red, right? Yes. Each land you control becomes a mountain to end a turn or whatever. So this.
Turn off Post synergies.
Yeah, which is probably, I guess that's why he tapped the card post now. Actually, I'm not sure. Does it turn off things, or does it just make them additionally a mountain?
I don't think it makes them
Oh yeah, no. Look, Locust is grayed out. Yeah, so they are now mountains like a blood moon.
Yep.
Okay, so now we get back the Semblance Anvil. We imprint one of the 6 cards in our hand. Presumably, none of the cards in our hand are lands. Maybe one.
Oh, Guild Globe first. Drawing.
Guild Globe first. Oh, we had to sack. Oh, we had to sack Elsewhere Flask to get the red effect. Now we have to sack a new egg to get the Semblance Anvil back. Oh my god!
Depending on the hand here, Tigrex could win.
If he has 5 eggs here, he's going to draw 5 cards. If any of those cards are, Colossus, Scrap Trawler, etc., he's off to the races. He does have to get Colossus in the graveyard.
So you need like Ravager here. You need.
I'm not sure Tigrex plays Ravager.
Really? Not just a 1/0? I think Scrap Crawler is imprinted under Semblance Anvil. So
yeah.
Goblin Engineer currently costs 1. True, you can get the Colossus in the graveyard that way, but then you can't cast the Scrap Trawler.
Oh, I see. Oh, so creatures are also cheaper because that's funny.
But it doesn't double up, so like Scrap Trawler doesn't suddenly cost 0. It only.
So we did not make the mana guy. We just made a 4/4, trying to do it fair.
Can't be right. That can't be right.
Well, now the Nature's Rhythm gets a Combat Celebrant, I guess, which is lethal. Yeah.
Oh, fair. Okay, never mind.
So I guess we didn't need the mana guy to do Terrastodon things because we could just win the game instead.
But it would have been so good.
Okay, so interesting. So it turns out that if you play Twin, but you also have a double creature tutor in your deck, that you can assemble it more often. It's clever, that.
Yeah, pretty good.
So
who would have thought that the green-red twin was going to be
green-red twin? I played white-red twin the first season. We got Kiki Jiki, just I don't know, for something different with I guess Restoration Angel. I don't really remember, and it was just idiotic and terrible. But this seems very good.
Yeah, I think this. I mean, we have Is It Twin in the semifinals as well, so we'll see if it becomes twin versus twin, because I imagine that matchup probably leans in favor of Is It Twin part, but.
Yeah, although, your mana leak is only so good against the double tutor, right? The flashback goes into the graveyard, but...
That's true, but then there's invert polarity. Steal your Nature's Rhythm for...
Yeah, I actually played against the Golgari Aristocrats, and they Natured Rhythms for 3, and I had an invert polarity in hand, and a Kiki in hand, and no Pestamite, and I was like... Now is my moment, but I did not win the flip, sadly. And I did lose the game, in fact.
Oh no, that's... Yeah.
But if I'd won the flip, I'd have untapped and won the game.
That's just good magic.
Yeah, I don't know about Invert Polarity, not everybody's favourite card, but looks like it might be quite good this season because, if you're playing massive...
It's the best strategy against posts, I think.
Right. It's a 3 mana thing that you're actually not embarrassed to try and do into a big post haymaker. I mean, if they tooth and nail you, you can get Pestamite and Kiki Jiki if you win the flip. So, yeah, interesting. It's going to be an interesting season. I'm glad that Nature's Rhythm turned out to be good. I looked through basically every creature you could get with it, decided that you couldn't do anything more interesting than getting Fubblethip and drawing 2 cards, or as Miranda Clamdovamdovham, and gave up. And then everybody else went, no, you idiot. The whole point is the flashback mode, where you go and get some massive thing or some game-winning thing from your library, which I hadn't really thought about. I only thought about the front side, really. And thought of the
kind of funny. Yeah.
I mean, we have another Green Sun Zenith-alike, which doesn't, which is a battle, and nobody's caring about that at all. I think Green X, get a creature and put it into play is not a good card, but somehow once you add the Harmonized mode, it's very good. Okay, so we're going for something big on turn 2 here.
Degeneracy on turn 2. What is it?
It's 5 mana on turn 2, all green.
Could be Titania, perhaps.
So Nature's Rhythm for 3. That's interesting. So getting Combat Celebrant.
Oh.
So that implies next turn is going to be Forest.
Forest Kiki.
Forest, sack the forest. Make 5 mana total.
You can play Kiki.
Tap Combat Celebrant, that's 9 total, which is 4 plus 5, which is Kiki, so that's his game.
You can bench Kiki off of Harmonize also. So
yes, yeah. So if he has a forest, then he's gonna be able to pay 5 mana and 4 from tapping the Combat Celebrant, which is exactly enough to get Kiki and win the game.
Actually, you can just Nature's Rhythm for Celebrant and then Nature's Rhythm again for Kiki immediately the next turn if you have 2 forests.
Yeah.
It's pretty consistent.
I mean, the green on the Harmonize mode is sort of some kind of stopper to you, right? But it isn't if you have Orcish Lumberjack. Oh, which he no longer does. So I thought we were about to see our first finalist here, but we are not. So you're going to exert the Combat Celebrant here and get in for 8?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, it's not getting better.
Celebrant doesn't untap itself, so...
Yeah. Oh, I see. It just lets all your other creatures attack again, yeah? Otherwise it would be crazy, I guess.
Well, then maybe not.
Yeah. Okay, I see. Otherwise, it'd have to be like some weird clause about how it couldn't attack again or couldn't exert again. It says if it hasn't been exerted this turn. Oh, yeah, so it does kind of have that clause, but it also doesn't untap itself. So we're only getting in for 4.
Well, I think Tigeric has a chance here, certainly.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think now that the fast mana's gone...
Yeah, fast mana's gone.
I mean, we're so many green sources away from... doing the thing with the Nature's Rhythm, and we're so many just like mana sources in general away from casting a Kiki Jiki. So yeah, that suplex was extremely good.
Suplex almost just a better Abrade this season in some sense.
Sorcery is so terrible though. Like if you're playing the Is It Twin Mirror, you don't want to be relying on
graveyard focused like synergies, right? Like suplexing the Soul Trader and not being able to recur it with.
Yeah. No, I mean it's definitely got upsides as well as downsides, but I don't know. In a Pestamite Kiki Jiki universe, I don't know if I can justify. I mean, presumably this is a sideboard card anyway, but.
No, yeah.
So what are we dumping here? Probably Semblance Anvil. Again, we're a little low on red mana here, so we had to use the Elsewhere Fast to cast the Suplex and the Engineer, did we?
I wonder how many mountains are actually being run.
Yeah, might be.
Because he plays with Suva as well, or they.
5 mountains. So I guess it's actually kind of, I guess, it's 4 golden eggs and 4 Elsewhere Flasks and 5 mountains and 4 Guild Globes and 5 mountains. So it's very much the what was the OG tapped one that you sacrificed for 2 mana and mirrored it anyway. But yeah, it's not a mana base built around necessarily having a mountain in play, just occasionally being able to make red. don't know how wise that is, but I suppose Cloudpost, Glimmerpost, Sanctum of Ugin, Versiva, and Inventor's Fair all do pretty significant things, and you wouldn't necessarily want to cut them.
Yeah, I would say the weakest is probably Inventor's Fair.
There's only one Inventor's Fair.
Yeah.
And it's legendary, so that makes sense.
Okay, so Fnatic is online next turn, but presumably Tigrak has quite...
Yeah, so the win is once again on board, right? If I untap and you do not interact with me in any way, I can get a Kiki Jiki and I can start making... Or I can make Combat Celebrants galore. It's interesting, the Combat Celebrant win isn't quite as good as the Pestamite win in that it loses to an indestructible creature.
Fair, yeah.
Although, it's less vulnerable to Rakdos Charm or something, I guess. But it does seem just ever so slightly worse than the Kiki. Okay, so this is interesting. So we've got two Colossi, but we're still facing the win on board. Alchemist's Vial stops the win, right? You make the first token unable to attack, or some token before you are dead unable to attack, which means it can't be exerted, which means you can't carry on the chain. It only buys you a turn, but that might well be enough. Well, there's only one card in hand for Tigrak.
You can also Sleeper Dart the Kiki.
That's only untap step.
No, I know, but...
Once you've used the Alchemist's Vial to live, you can then also Sleeper Dart the Kiki to live some more. Yeah, I mean, okay, so there's 2 turns of attacking with 2 10/10s on board here for...
I don't think Vial works if it doesn't have Summoning Sickness. Because you have both the first Celebrant and the...
Oh, you could attack with the original Celebrant in order to untap... Kiki and sort of sacrifice it. But Kiki can copy... Yeah, he can copy tokens. He just can't copy legends. So yeah, this maybe doesn't work.
Let's see. I guess. Also, you have to attack with the Celebrant, right? But then you just make the...
Wait.
Untaps Kiki. Okay, yeah.
I think they lose now. Or they can't win.
Yeah, because you can't infinitely block.
Well, you definitely block both the... Oh, wait, we're making...
No, they're just... Well, they made 2 4/1s.
Oh, no,
Oh, weird. Oh.
Yeah, so there are 2 more ready to go, yeah. So, I think... interesting.
Oh, interesting.
Well,
Is there no way of getting around that? I guess not.
No, I mean, there were 4 Combat Celebrants in play before we were going to blockers, right? So even if you make one unable to attack and trade off with the 2 that are attacking, there's still a 4th one there who can attack and be an untap Kiki and be copied, and off we go again. So yeah, I think...
Interesting.
Okay, so it wasn't quite as vulnerable as I was saying. So Alanon is into the final. Is the other semi still going? It is. Let me fiddle with various settings. Okay, so this is twin against humans. Or is it twin? I don't know. Twin is getting bandied around. Might have to be more specific than twin. And I guess we're in game 3. Twin is on 5 life. But, okay, no, we're in game 2. Humans won game 1. So we're going for a sweeper here, perhaps. No, Thunder Magic. Deals 4 damage to target creature. This is just in the main phase for some reason. just less chance of having braved the elements, or they don't want them to have a brave... I don't know. So it does not... Oh, Cave of the Frost Dragons is 3-4, so no good attacks here. Okay, so it looks like we just came in as Twin was stabilizing against a moderately scary-looking Adeline. Now
Drag is up again, right?
Yeah, humans are up again. So you'd have to assume that the control deck with 2 Chrome Host Sea Sharks and 4 cards in hand is favoured here, but they are only on 5.
Another main phase.
Is this the sweeper? No, just drawing cards. I guess if you get a land here, you then get to make your land drop and make a 4/4, and you become less vulnerable to brave the elements, and maybe you find a memory lapse that you don't have right now, and it can make sense for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and so here we are. We have 2 mana up, which presumably represents enough interaction to not die this turn.
Pop is lethal. Oh, Pop is
lethal, yeah.
Was lethal too.
Yeah, that Farsight, maybe. Yeah, well, I mean, if they didn't have a counterspell, then obviously go for it.
But then you can still... I guess you need to make your land drop, right, if you want to hold up.
So do you turn this 4/4 into a 4/4 end of turn here? I assume they don't have pop.
Oh, well. All right, no pop.
So they definitely don't have it right now.
Interesting. Okay, well, that could have been bad.
The bodyguard's kind of irrelevant because these incubator tokens are colorless. I kind of want to get them into a position where pop is lethal for them as well, but I guess that's 12 damage away. I might have attacked with the 4/4 though. You have all this mana to make another 4/4. I don't know. I mean, I guess Cave of the Frost Dragon...
If you can find 2 damage somewhere, you could Benevolent Bodyguard the Cave of the Frost Dragon, but...
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Not matter, though.
Tap the Cave of the Frost Dragon. Now we can get in with our... I mean, we just need pop to be one of these draws, and we're going to the final because Final Defiance is tapping out of the presumably non-existent counter magic willy-nilly.
Very interesting.
I think even if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to. I don't know. It's kind of stupid to.
Long tournament, I think, as well. Too. Could just be not on the front of their mind.
Yeah. So here's a lethal Kiki Jiki. All right,
okay.
1-1, going to a game 3 to see who faces Al-Anon CEW in the final.
I'm sad that nobody played Songcrafter Control.
It's not good, but it is great.
It has its merits, but it has no Kiki combo, so I think that immediately puts it into some bin.
I mean, you can play Combat Celebrant, Orcish Lumberjack, Kiki Jiki in Teamer colours, I'll have you know. You can also play Pestamite, You could play every twin combo and irrelevantly 4 song customations for no good reason. I mean, you're in green, you can even play Nature's Rhythm. You've got it all. You're set for life. You'll have no interaction whatsoever because your entire deck will be twin pieces.
Yeah.
If you don't draw Kiki Diki, your deck will do nothing at all. But, you've got lots of ways to find him.
I thought about putting, Kiki in the sideboard of the But that just seems like...
Okay,
silly.
Predrag mull to 6, but Final Defiance on Twin has mull to 4.
4.
So that's got to
That
be
can't be right.
2 lands, a Pestamite, and a Kiki-Jiki. And just... I don't even know what...
Yeah, I mean, what do the 6 and 5 have to look like to mold a 4? They have to be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean...
Not.
So, Predrag, you know... Oh, Temple of Epiphany. Old school Penny Dreadful lands coming out here. We've got our best mana of all time. And people are running Temple of Epiphany. There you go. Not quite as good as the Surveil lands, FYI. Wow. So, in the face of the Malta 4, Predrag decides to go Savannah Lines with upside into Thalia on the play. So, we're really looking here for what? A removal spell on Thalia into the 4-mana blue-red sweeper if they even play it.
Yeah,
That would have to
they
be...
do, or sideboard Anger of the Gods or something. Ooh.
Wow, this is nuts. So I'm really looking for Burst Lightning or Thunder Magic on this Thalia here, otherwise I'm in full panic mode. Takes it and goes to 12. Uh-oh. No land drop from Predrag, which honestly might be bad news for Final Defiance. Anger of the Gods? No, costs 4. Pyroclasm is not available.
Oh, I see.
Pyroclasm is not legal this season.
Not legal.
Yeah.
We don't have that white one either. The deal 2 to each white creature opponent.
I mean, maybe we can go very low here and have Anger of the Gods bail us out on turn 4, just completely wipe the board and let's all start again.
I mean, they didn't have second lieutenant. They played the Kithian, so they're not pumping the Descendant, which wouldn't get it outside of Anger of the Gods range. Anyways,
There's no Brave the Elements unless there's going to be another land drop because the filter land doesn't do that. So there is hope here. You know, we can reduce our white weenie opponent to 2 lands, 3 cards in hand. Not a lot going on. Deduce is the first act of the game at the end of my opponent's turn 4 is pretty depressing. But
it has to be Anger. It cannot be anything else. Oh, and it was not.
all right, so mono white human splashing Price of Progress will will play.
That is
Anger of the Gods in hand, just didn't have the 4th land. Oh, brutal.
Oh, that's
Brutal. And just drew a Thunder Magic by the looks of things for the turn.
for the white being player though. So Anger wouldn't work.
What's that?
Right. They have Flare.
Oh, they had Flare.
So white.
And so Flare says what? Just everybody becomes indestructible.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, well, those are our finalists. Mono White Human Splash Price of Progress and Lumber Twin. You heard it here first.